Tom Wesley's 100 and a career best for Shane Snater with the ball saw Essex thrash Kent by 182 runs in their latest one-day cup contest in Chelmsford. Batting first after winning the toss, the Eagles lost both openers early. Feroz Koushi was on 14 when a leading edge off Matt Quinn offered the bowler a return catch. In the next over, the 7th, Josh Rymel was trapped in front by Navdeep Saini to go for 18, the total on 33 for 2. It was not the start that Tom Wesley would have wanted, but he was the man to start the recovery. He struck 4 early boundaries to race to 20 off only 10 deliveries to make the most of the 10 overs of power play in spite of those early losses, by the end of which Essex had reached 63 for 2. It was a hot afternoon in Chelmsford and the surface looked to be a good one to bat on. Wesley was certainly making it look that way as he launched Joey Everson over the rope for the game's first maximum. While Wesley was on the charge, his partner Grant Rulifson played in a more measured manner. It was an ideal combination, this pair able to move their side into a good position, the total at 117 for 2 after 20 overs. Wesley struck 7 fours and 1 6 in his 44-ball 50, the 33rd time he'd got to that mark in his illustrious List A career, this being his 101st match in this format. Halfway through the innings, the total read 145 for 2, and in the 26th over, Rulifson was also raising his bat for completing a 50 of 52 deliveries. He celebrated it with his 6th 4. There was no sign of an end to the third wicket partnership, which moved beyond the 150 mark. The 32nd over, a really good one for the home team. Wesley hit Nathan Gilchrist for 3 successive boundaries to rapidly move into the 90s. The over brought his side 18 runs, and in the next, Essex had 200 runs on the board, with 17 overs left to add many more. Rulifson had eased on to 74 as Wesley clipped Quinn through mid-wicket to grab his 12th 4, which took the skipper to his 600 in List A cricket. This one had occupied 96 balls and was filled with sumptuous strokes, emphasising the 33-year-old's class. With the total at 217 for 2 with 14 overs to go and 2 batsmen so well set, Essex would have been hopeful of a massive score, but then Rulifson was surprisingly bowled by Saini for a runnable 77. That ended the partnership on 184, and only 10 more runs had been added when Wesley for once didn't middle a shot and hold out off Joe Denley. He left to a standing ovation with 109 runs to his name. Aaron Beard was up the order for a smash, but was well held by Denley after making 14. And when Aaron Nijar was another to pick out Joey Everson at long off to fall for a duck, Essex had slipped a bit to 250 for 6 in the 42nd over. They were in danger of losing their way until Snater put back to ball, clubbing 2 sixes in successive overs to have his side on the move again. Robin Das also cleared the rope during a 10-ball over, began by Saini. That delivery was his second to be deemed as dangerous, and so he had to be removed from the attack. Quinn completed the elongated over and picked up the wicket of Das, who was held in the deep after entertaining with his 22. Snater was still there and saw his team into the 300s with some clean hitting. He and Jamal Richards carried the score to 317 for 7 with 3 overs to go. 2 wickets were lost in the 48th. Snater mishit the third man after whacking 41 runs from 22 balls, while Luke Benkenstein was caught in the same place but off a very different shot, first ball. Already, right at the start of his career, Richards has shown that he can bat, and he now belted Quinn over the rope to end unbeaten on 19. Essex all out in their last over for 331, as Jamie Porter was strangled down the leg side. It was a total that Wesley and his charges would have been happy with at the break. Wickets at regular intervals would make chasing such a target impossible, and that is just what the Eagles' attack did. An opening stand of 32 was ended in the 6th over when Tawanda Muiai edged Porter to death. Ollie Robinson, who opened up his account in this season's tournament, threatened for a while, utilising his outstanding form by hitting Nijar into the stands twice in the spinner's first 2 overs. Indeed, Robinson was timing his shot so well that a simple turn to the leg side off Porter flew with pace to Slater at deep square leg, the fielder holding on well to remove Robinson for 31. Porter's spell of 8 overs bringing him figures of 2 for 26. Beard then had Denley driving to Kushi in the covers after adding 13. And after Richards joined in the fun to have Beard in action in the field this time to send back Alex Blake, Kent had stuttered to 110 for 4 after 22 overs. After 30, and with 20 more overs to go, the visitors needed a miracle. Harry Finch next on his way with a total on 136, chipping Slater to Rymel. This was a must-win game for both sides to keep alive their hopes of a top 3 finish, and the match was just about in the bag when Slater produced a powerful throw which had Everson short of his ground, coming back for a second run. One shard of light for Kent was that their opener Ben Compton was still at the crease, securing a 50 off 76 balls, but he had no support, and Slater ensured that now. He bowled Hamidullah Kadri. 3 balls later found the edge of Gilchrist's bat. Then next ball he trapped Quinn bang in front, 3 wickets falling in 5 balls. Slater now with figures of 4 for 29 to go with some excellent fielding. And the true all-rounder from Harare hurried his side over the winning line as Compton was the last man out. Slater with list A best figures of 5 for 29. Kent had lost their last 6 wickets for 13 runs in 4 overs and were all out for 149. That gave Essex a monumental victory by 182 runs, and they will look to carry the confidence gleaned from this match into Sunday when they next host Glamorgan.